Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, we're back once again. Good to see you all. I hope you're all doing well. And we're in for another tier list, third one this time. So, yeah, I'm glad this series has just kept going and you all keep liking it. So, yeah, let's just keep things going. Another Fire Emblem tier list, but today we're doing Fire Emblem Heroes. Now, this, because again, Fire Emblem Heroes has been around for a while. It's quite popular. There's a lot to discuss, and after doing the whole artwork thing, I'm a bit more invested in Fire Emblem Heroes. Not massively, but, you know, there's definitely more of an intrigue there. So I figured today we'll just do some Fire Emblem Heroes tier lists. I've only got two in mind because I wanted to do a third one, but I think that's going to need to be its own video because that's a big undertaking. So we'll just do two today, and yeah, but we'll just do Fire Emblem Heroes tier list. But just get a heads up, like with the tier list, they're not, again, I'm never ever going to do a gameplay focused tier list of Fire Emblem Heroes because A, I don't pay attention to all the skills. I don't really pay attention to meta, but also B, how the ridiculous power creep and stuff like that. It's just like, look, just slap Fallen Edelgard in the highest tier and we'd be done. What about everybody else? Fuck everybody else. Oh boy. But anyway, so the first tier list we're doing today is the Resplendent tier list. And for those who don't know, Resplendent forms are literally alternate versions of the characters. It doesn't change like their stats or anything. They're just the alternate versions of the characters in alternate costume. You can actually you can get this if you've got the Heroes Pass. You get these, but I think you can buy them separately as well after a while. But if you have the Heroes Pass, you get them first. Regardless, these are all the Resplendents we've got, and we've got like multiple different tiers from S+ all the way down to E. Yeah, so we'll just go through. So for me, what makes a good Resplendent form is not just the design itself in terms of the artwork, but how unique it is, how well, because each one is based off a different realm in Heroes, like Asuka, Embla, Josefheimer, all that jazz. It's about how well does the realm in question fit the character in terms of aesthetic and theme. What about the character does it reflect? Like, does it suit them as the type of people they are? Is it a reference to something? How's like the color scheme, like and stuff like that? Because there are some where it is a nod to certain other parts of Fire Emblem trivia. But yes, we'll just go through. And some of you may already know where I'm going to place some of them based on the video, but I didn't cover all the Resplendents because not all of them I felt were either so good to talk about or so bad to talk about. So let's just go through one by one. And we'll start with none other than Marth. Now, I've got all the Resplendents on standby. So Marth's one. This is an Asuka one. The white's nice, but it's pretty much just his main costume with a bit of white on it. The costume itself does have some very nice quirks to it. You know, Marth does look very clean. It does suit him. It definitely suits like the Hero King Marth and so on. And it's got a nice vibe to it, but it's kind of basic if you ask me. It's a very basic one. So I'd put this in the C tier to start with. Again, it's basic. It's harmless, but it's essentially harmless, but you know, you can do a lot more. No, with a Marth one, maybe other things to maybe bring out how gallant he is, or maybe a different, maybe, I don't know, just something. This one is pretty standard. Maybe if they used different colors as well, it would have looked a bit more interesting. But again, it's pretty much just Marth with a bit of white and gold. Nice, but not much else. Okay, now we have Roy. Okay, Roy's one's interesting. It's based on Niflheim, Fjord's location. This one's interesting because, again, it's like similar vibe in terms of like aesthetic to Roy's normal gown, but now you've got the light blues and the golds and the whites, and they do contrast nicely against Roy's, you know, orange red hair. But again, the outfit, it's a bit better than Marth's, but again, I wouldn't say it's the same problem because Marth's ones that just look like finger. You know, Roy's got an actual inverted color scheme for the most part. But I don't know, I guess the shape of it and just how it plays out, it's a little bit better than Marth's, but not by much. So I put that in C tier as well. It's not particularly, I don't know, there's something about it. Like, Marth's one may be a bit safe, but the design itself is a little bit more, I don't know, looks a bit more grand. Roy's one's a little on the basic side, if you ask me. Not awful, and again, the detail in the artwork is amazing, but yeah, not my favorite. Alright, next is Chrom. Now, this one a lot of people really liked when it came out, and yeah, this one is really fantastic because not only do you have just the really cool art, but like, again, you've got the blue of Chrom and stuff like that, but the blacks and the golds of Muspel, and the cape especially, because it's meant to be a reference to the crow that you see at Emran's death, and you see like there's fire and everything. Chrom's in a really dark place after Emran died. Yeah, it's just, this is really, 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 really good stuff. Would have probably been, like, even you got the lava thing over here, maybe it would have been nice to give him a bit more, like, lighting and, like, darker, like, sunken in eyes and stuff like that. Maybe got a bit more on the detail. Like, they could have maybe not so heavy on the blues, if you ask me. But overall, I really like this one. I wouldn't put it in S+, but it's definitely an S tier one. Because again, visually, in terms of thematic, it's absolutely outstanding. Anyway, now we've got Lord Eliwood. Eliwood's one. Eliwood's? This one I kind of get is kind of like a reference to his ceremonial outfit at the end of the game. And it's not bad. Again, it's a bit too... The color scheme, again, the golds and thing blended into the beige and white's a bit too much. Again, it looks nice. It's not like super basic, I'll give it that. It's a nice one between being unique and referential. My only problem is the color scheme. It's really, really lacking in the color scheme department. Because, again, it's just like, the blue cape is nice and all, and the reds are cool, but even then they feel a bit washed out. And like, there's so much white, beige, and really, really faded yellows and golds. It's, yeah, in that regard, it's cool. I think it would have been better if they had a bigger contrast between the colors, like really, really out there golds, really sharp blues and reds against these really soft, creamy beiges. That would have been better and put it in B tier, but I'll put it in C for now. Yeah, it's that one's nice, but you know, it definitely could have been a bit more striking. Okay, next up is Erica's one. This is one I love. It's based on you know, the fairy realm. This one is I think there is the Hosenheimer, yeah. Oh, this one, I love just how colourful and floral it is. Like, you've got like the wings at the back, which is kind of like, you know, like kind of like petals, but a bit more like, you know, bird type. And you've got the leggings, and you've got like, you know, the flower skirt and everything. There's so much floral detail. There's so much vibrant, beautiful colours between the turquoise and the red. It's so full of like summer, spring, autumn, all of it. And it suits Erica well. She is like the floral, like she's not super, super dainty and like this, honestly, like this type of dress actually looked better on Tana of all people, but it's so beautifully done. Erica herself looks divine. It's so just, it really, really works. It's just like, you know, when you think of like pretty flower princess, this is perfect. Again, thematically, not that much. I guess it could be like, you know, Erica's innocence. I put this one in, I'll put this one in S, because this one's really, really good too. I love just how creative all the floral elements are. It really is beautiful. And again, the green and the red really help to contrast against each other really well. It's really good in that regard. So yeah, I put that in an A tier. Okay, now we got Arms. Oh, Arms one I'm not that big on. Because again, it looks like just Arms' normal thing, but with a bit of black, you know, accessories on it. It's almost like, you know, one of those weird Power Ranger Battleizer things. It's, again, like, it's cool, but, like, yeah, it's just literally like you just slapped armor on it. That's all. It's just like, there's a bit of gold, there's a bit of this, and there you go. It's, again, this one's really, really, because at least with, you know, Marth and Roy, they do try to add a few more things like the feathers, and well, we've got feathers there. Okay, fair enough. And like with Marth, the colors really, really work with him. I don't get the black with Arm. I don't get it. Like, you could do a lot more with Arm. You could have gone with Embla. You could have gone with Hell potentially. Hell, I reckon even well, at the time I don't think they had Jotunheimer. Yeah, there's Hosenheimer is the fairy one. Jotunheimer is the Regan one. Yeah, they could have maybe gone with something like that, especially with Arm's rustic roots. I reckon Book 5 one would have been awesome. This one I just think is pretty lame. I don't think it's awful, but again, I think this one is lame. Okay. Next, Ike. Okay, Ike's one? Ike's is, again, I love the use of colours here, like the blue, like, you know, Ragnar's blue flame, you got the really, really sharp reds. Again, this is what Eliwood could have done with colour-wise. It's not that, again, in terms of the composition, it's pretty much the exact same as his mercenary outfit, which, alright, fine. The colours, again, it's kind of like, again, I wonder if they're Black Knight references, because you've got the blacks and the really sharp reds. That's pretty cool. Again, it's a cool design. It's kind of like, it's not super, super out there, but it's got some nice elements, wonderful colour scheme, nice representation, nice callback, you know, all that stuff, while still feeling like Ike. So, I don't know. I put this in B tier, actually. I quite like this one. I didn't realise it potentially was referencing the Black Knight and such. So this one's pretty damn cool. Right, next. Now we have Brave Ike. Oh, this is interesting. Brave Ike got an alt form, which is really interesting, because, you know, most of them it's just their base form, but yeah, Brave Ike. And Brave Ike's one, again, there's some nice details here and there. The detail on his face is amazing. I know this artist done a really good job with just the actual details, but it's very similar to his normal form and stuff like that. Little more, like, you know, it's not nearly as colorful. It's a bit more, you know, a little bit more rustic, which is cool. Works for Ike, and you know, look at Ike's face. You know, he's like, I'm just done with this shit. It's cool, but again, it doesn't really feel like a Resplendent. It just feels like a slight alteration, as if like he just like not a color swap, but I don't know. Again, the level of detail is incredible, but the costume itself is not much to say. I'll put this in C because the detail is just amazing. Okay, now we have Micaiah's one. Micaiah's is interesting because they're kind of going for the sexy succubus witch type thing here. And again, Micaiah's face says it all. Again, you look at that face, Micaiah's just like, just being cheeky, which I like. Again, the color scheme works because it's kind of like a slightly inverted version of her priestess, her third tier one, where she's got like burgundy and white, but this one she's got blacks and pinks, which is quite cool actually. Again, I think it's nice on her. It could definitely work in the whole, you know, all the thing Micaiah goes through. And again, there's just I like her devilish charms. It's not something you'd see from Micaiah, but it is nice. I'd put this in B or A. I put this in B. Again, it's pretty cool if you ask me. It's different, but it's nice. It's definitely nice, and you know the theme works to it too. The trans go like sexy Micaiah, which I'm not saying it can't work. It's just, you know, it's not something you'd see often on Micaiah, but you know. Okay, now we got Leaf's one. All right, Leaf's one. Kind of the same, it's kind of going down the Roy route where it's just like a thingy costume off their form, but with this one, I love all the armor on Leaf. It works really well because not only does it suit his base color form where he's already got like a very white and gold thing, but having the blues really helps to differentiate the outfit a bit more while staying true to his one. He looks really, really gallant. I absolutely adore it. So yeah, this one is like, it's straightforward, but it takes advantage of everything there. It's so bold and dynamic, which I really, really like. Again, it loses points on lack of originality, but in terms of just being like in your face and really making the best of just a very solid design, it does that. This, you know, Leaf looks pretty damn cool right here, I won't deny. Alright, after that, we've got Lynn's one. I think she was the first one to get one. This one, it's not bad. Again, it's very much like the Lynn design with some extra features. It's kind of like, again, it feels a bit like, it's not really so much referential. It's nice, you got some extra clothing here, you still got to see her legs. And again, it suits well. It's a nice alteration. And again, even this bit's quite nice. Again, it feels like they just added bits and pieces onto her existing design, which is fine. But it's kind of like, it's not completely bland, but it's not very original either. And at the same time, it's, they might, again, I would have liked to see Lynn gone for like a very different realm outfit type thing, like give her a hell one or something like that, because it still feels like it's still being confined to her base outfit. So I put that in C tier. It's not my favorite, but it's not awful. Okay, now we've got Robin's one. Okay, Robin's one is interesting because obviously with the Grima thing going on, this outfit does suit quite well. The blacks and purples work really, really nicely. It's very ostentatious, but it works, especially considering he is Grima and you've got like the dragon claws, you know, the symbols. There's a lot going on here, and the lack of color representation can make it hard to see all the details, but it definitely works in this context. I think it's pretty damn cool. Yeah, I think it's a really, really cool outfit that just, it really, really suits the situation and the theme. It could have maybe done with being a bit more, like maybe making the colors a bit more dynamic because they do kind of blend in, some of the blacks and grays. But outside of that, I put this in A because, again, the theme works really, really damn well. Right, now we have Soph's. Alright, Soph's one, this is actually based on, I think it's, what's it called? Jotunheimer. Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, first of all, the detail here, look how fucking ripped Soph is. God damn. It's very similar to his base outfit, but the extra features are nice, kind of like a promotion thing, and it does suit Soph because of the rustic background. This one's is kind of like the Lynn situation. It's confined to his base outfit, but there is nice additions to it, and the detail is once again incredible. So I don't know. It's good, but again, the lack of originality. I'll put this in C as well. Again, if it had a bit more unique features, I'd rank it higher because the detail's amazing, but it doesn't. Now we have Azora's one. Okay, Azora's one, again, the colors are beautiful, proper icy, really, really nice, like Gunthura's one, but Azora's one, literally, it's like, Zora's base outfit looks so similar to this. You couldn't have gone with something else. Hell, you couldn't have gone with more of a golden Fjorm type thing with, or maybe more white. No, actually, no, that would be rubbish. That would be a thing. I think a different realm would have suited Fjorm better, because Fjorm's outfit kind of already looks like it's from Nifil to begin with, so I think it's a case of the outfit itself is fine. There's lots of wonderful details and colours. It's just on Fjorm it doesn't feel different. If you did a different character, or if you did Fjorm in a different realm, it could have really worked. God, like, Hell Fjorm or Flower Fjorm would have been amazing, but, oh well, I'll put this in D tier. I don't think it's awful, it's just, yeah. It's a case of, nice idea, wrong character. Alright, now we've got Hector's one. Hector's is kind of like the Chrom one. Actually, it's really similar to the Chrom one. A bit more gold and stuff. And again, for Hector, Muspel works because of his brash, overbearing, you know, attitude and stuff like that. I don't think it's meant to have the same symbolism or themes as Chrom. It's just meant to be a really cool looking outfit. And in that regard, it does it really, really well. Because again, it is really cool with Hector and just having that fire and so on. It is pretty damn cool. I like it. I don't think, again, it's not necessarily, again, it lacks, it's more of a, it just looks awesome. Thematically, there's not much to it, but it does look really cool. Right. Now we've got Cordelia's one. Alright, Cordelia's one's quite nice. There's an interesting, again, the armor here, like this isn't, if I remember, this is Asuka, but it's pretty cool because I like how it's segmented. She's got the shield on her arm. She's got, like, you know, the leggings and so on. The colors, you know, there's more separation with the golds and the burgundies and the reds. There's a really nice, again, it's a bit jumbled, but there's a really nice elements going on here. Still makes it feel humble and Pegasus-like, but with, like, a bit of a unique spin. This one is pretty damn cool, actually. Plus, it's nice to see Cordelia actually looking cool. So, I like this one. I don't think, again, it's a bit too jumbled for my taste. And, obviously, it doesn't, I don't think thematically it's got anything going for it. But it is really, really, again, I don't know, it's cool. I like it. I really like it. Okay, now we've got Sheeta's one. Sheeta's one I've talked about before. I'm not the biggest fan of it because it looks like a color swap, or you just, again, just looks like a base Nifil outfit with Sheeta's head on it. Granted, you know, the colors are nice. I like her pose. It's kind of got this beautiful but slightly sexy jibe to it. The scarf's nice too. But, I don't know, it just feels pretty standard if you ask me. Again, it feels like a color swap because the overall composition is very similar to her base form. And it doesn't help that, you know, the colors don't really do much to make it feel that different. Not E. Again, I don't think it's awful, but it's definitely D tier. Now we've got Little Alina. This one's quite cute. Obviously, going like the whole you know, going with similar to her father, Muspel. This one's quite nice. It's like it's not that. It's actually quite low key. It's not so over. She doesn't have like a big brandishing fiery cable just freaking like, you know, molten everywhere. But it is cool in the sense of, you know, it makes it look more mature. The dark things to it, you know, makes it look more dangerous, you know, Queen of Ostia type thing. But without, like, obviously, compromising her childlike integrity. It's nice, it's sweet. Again, the colors are really, really wonderful. It's just a really, really nice design, honestly. And the blue watch really good contrast against her other stuff. It's a nice design. I put it in the same as Hector B tier. It's a good one. Right, now we've got Celica's. Okay, Celica's one, she looks, again, very fairy-like, very, very sweet, very, very lovely. This is a really, really sweet design. I love the pinks and the greens. It works really, really, really damn well. Celica herself looks absolutely beautiful. And again, similar to like the opening of Echoes, but they're in the flower field, it looks really, really nice. Erica's I prefer because Erica's is a bit more vibrant. There's more creativity in actual composition. But this one, it's like the composition is pretty standard, what you'd expect from a fairy princess. And thematically, I don't think there's too much aside from going back to the whole past nostalgia thing. But the beauty of it really comes through here. Celica does look like an absolute darling princess. Like, she's a fairy tale come to life, Erica. And speaking of which, now we have a Lincia's one. My opinion, best Resplendent in the game, because not only do you have, they're going with Yosuai again, but they've done way more creativity. It's not just flowers, it's just life in general. You've got the thorns for the leggings to make it look sexy, but also dangerous, because this is like meant to be Radiant Dawn Lincia. The detail is amazing. The wings, you know, they're meant to be like dragonfly butterfly wings. It's not, so it's wildlife in general. It's not just flowers. Which I like. I really like that. But I like how it's a nice contrast. You've got the blacks you know, you got Elincia's colours here with the whites and the golds and the greens, but then the blacks come in, and I think this is really nice to show Elincia's maturity, because yeah, in Radiant Dawn she is a kind and loving and wonderful woman, but she ain't gonna take your shit after part 2, and I love that. It works so well. It makes her look divine but also sexy, dangerous but also dainty. It just covers all the bases. It is unique. It takes the best elements from the realm. It reflects her character development. It takes elements from both her designs. This is the first S plus tier 1. It is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I love Elincia's Resplendent. Best so far. There are other fantastic ones too, and who knows, we might get a better one later. It'll be hard to top, but best one so far. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I should have done this. At the time of this recording, it's the 12th of January, and the most recent Resplendent we've got is Florina. So if you're watching this afterwards and there's been other Resplendents, again, this video is, this video is automatically dated, so sorry, can't cover those. Probably just message me and I'll tell you how I think. Because people, I remember after doing the Fire Emblem Heroes video, a lot of people message me whenever there's new artwork coming out, just thinking what I thought. Right, now we've got Tana's one. Tana's one, again, it's straightforward, like Celica's, a bit more straightforward than Celica's, but it works. It works really well with Tana because the colours are really, really soft and they work nice against her hair and just her figure. It's a pretty simple dress. It really doesn't go out of the way, but the butterfly wings are nice. And I think it just works because it suits Tana. Tana is a princess in every sense of the word. She's got that naive sweetness, she's caring, she's loving, she's young, she's got that young vibe to her, she's dreamlike. Tana is 100% princess, like the most princess of any Fire Emblem game, and this really, really suits her. Admittedly, they could have done more. Again, the Erica thing would suit her better. They could have swapped those two and I would have been cool with it. But it works. I wouldn't put it in S tier, but I put it in A tier. It's really, really, really nice. It just suits Tana too well. Okay. Next. Okay, now we've got Kagero with the One Malones, if you know what I mean. Kagero's one I quite like. Again, with the Elincia thing, going a bit more in with like the insect vibe, which I like with Kagero, she's a ninja and stuff like that. It's still quite sexy, and it still fits with her theme, but like having the scarf become a cape, having those little bits and pieces. Admittedly, the design is a bit bare. They could have done a little bit more, maybe some more details here. But there is a lot of sex appeal to the design without being overly bearing. And it's nice and stuff like that, and I think thematically with Kagero, I guess wilderness sneaky ninja, I think maybe Josefheimer would have been better, but regardless, it's a really, really nice design. I really like this Kagero one. Wouldn't put it in S tier, but it's an A tier one. Also, sorry, I got them mixed up. And now I've got Ryoma's one. Ryoma's one is fucking lame. Why? Because it just feels like his normal form, but with a bit more gold and a little less red. It's so lame, which is really upsetting. Again, the detail is nice, even though the yellows are a bit faded, the reds are faded. The outfit, the composition, again, it's pretty much the same. They didn't even go... It would have been cool if they'd done the thing where, like, Ryoma had, like, from the waist down, he had, like, the cape thing, but from the waist up, it was more light armor, like, proper samurai type thing. That would have been cooler, but no, it's the exact same thing. This is really, really lame. And you know what the worst part is? Because I started watching Bleach recently. When you see the Soul Reapers, they've got this very traditional Japanese, like, attire. If you get Ryoma a Hell form to look like a Soul Reaper, that would have been perfect, but no. Oh, no, this is an E-tier one, because this one is fucking lazy as shit. This one I do not like. Alright, next up, Takumi. Takumi's one is really damn cool. The detail, the colouring and all that jazz, and obviously the symbolism of his conquest development, love it, absolutely love it. It's like Robin's one, but a bit better. I think this one works better because of the level of detail and a bit more colour differentiation between each piece. I really, 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 really like it. And again, I like how the corruption, like, it spreads steadily. This one is really damn good. I'd put this in S. Not S+, but S. Now we've got Lynn's. Lynn's one... It's nice. I like that Lynn actually looks thing. It's very similar to a normal outfit with a bit more, but I think the colours work well, the whites and the peaches. This one's pretty basic, but it's safe, but it's nice. It works for her. I'd say it's not as bad as D tier, but C is at best because again, it's really, really, really playing it safe. And again, they could have done so much more with just Lynn's design. Again, the composition is practically identical. But at the same time, it is nice at the end of the day. It is nice. Okay, now we've got Delphia's one. This is a good one. Wait, sorry. Yeah, Delphia's one. This one's nice because, again, it feels like a proper extension of her. I love all the different colours. I love the fawny aspect because when she gets possessed. I love, again, there's a nice mix of white, nice, and dark, but it's also the fairy tale thing works for her because she's a young lady. Again, I would admit, again, it's one of the more downplayed, especially for that realm, but I think it works quite well. It's very, very cute and it's very, very sweet. I'd put that in A tier. Yeah, I think of all of them, I think Muspel and Jehosafheimer tend to have the best Resplendents. Not all, but most. They've got real creativity with their ones, and sometimes the symbolism's fantastic too. Next is Sarah's one. Okay, Sarah's one, I actually really quite like this, because even though the color scheme is similar to a normal one, I like it's her but much more gallant, and for a character like Sarah, it just makes so much sense. It feels right, because she's just so full of herself. The blue works really well against her pink hair, and I don't know, there's something about this, just the design feels right. It really does feel right. God, that thing in the background there is gonna... Okay, that's going to distract a whole bunch of people. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's just the sunlight. Yeah, praise the sun. But yeah, I really like Sarah's one. I wouldn't put it in like anything amazing, but B tier, because I think the colors just work really, really well. And again, it suits her because of how full of herself she is. Oh boy. Right, next. Next we have Sonia's one. Okay, this one I really like, because the Muspel thing works well for Sonia in terms of the purples working really well against the oranges and the blacks and yellows. And the reds, all of that. She's kind of got a dancer vibe going. Again, works really well for Sonia, makes her very, very sexy. And the purples look so good. But at the same time, it's like Dancer Mage. Well, so Free House of Dancer. But it works really, 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 really well. I will admit, it could have been a bit more extravagant given that it is Sonia. But for this, it works. It's very, very nice. It's one of those ones where it just clicks. Like, if it went that extra mile, I would have put it in S tier. But for what it is, it does, it's one of those ones where this design is really well focused. It knows exactly what it wants to do. You can tell they had the exact ideas, like we want to make Dancer, Sonia, with a bit of Mage and Muspel in there. And it works. And I think, with Sonia, Muspel, seductive but dangerous. I think that works really, really well. So A tier for me. Okay, now we have Amelia's one. This one's cool, because she's got this very superhero Valkyrian-like type thing for her. Which, again, it does look a bit like... Again, it's a little jarring, but it also works for Amelia, given her, she's that young, she wants to be, not hero necessarily, just defend Grado type thing. She's got that young spirit. The costume is really damn cool. I love, the segmented armor. It's like steampunk-ish, but still has that very gallant type, royal aesthetic to it. I really like that. The colors are quite cool with the oranges and the reds. It's pretty cool. I will admit, it's definitely, it's striking and sometimes a bit puzzling, but cool. I wouldn't put it in S, but I put it in A tier. It's a really, really cool design. I really like what they did. Okay, Minerva's one. I love this one because this is again. This looks no. This definitely looks like Jehosafheimer. It's like if Jehosafheimer and Muspel had a baby. Because again, you've got the wings and stuff like that, but then you've got the colors. Oh, the colors, like the oranges and the purples, they blend so well, and they make Minerva just look so daunting and powerful and beautiful and lustrous. And again, it is similar to a base design, but the different aspects work really, really nicely. It still fits with the theme of Minerva, and it's just a really, really awesome look to her. Again, it's just so mesmerizing in everything about it. I put this in S tier. I wouldn't put it in S+. I reckon, again, just because I don't think thematically there's too much going on. But again, this is a really, really, really nice design. She looks incredible. Okay, S1. Again, this is a case of, it's a basic bitch, but it works. She's a little fairy. Pretty simple. Again, nice. She looks kind of, well, I'm getting Lilymon vibes. Yeah, we're getting Digimon up in this. Again, the pinks and the yellows, pretty standard stuff. It's pretty straightforward, but it's adorable on Est. It works really well for just the type of person Est is. So in that sense, I absolutely adore this. So I'd put this in B or C. Again, it's basic, but it's an effective type of basic. It works for what it's trying to be, which is just a cute fairy cosplay, essentially. Now we have Raven's one. This one I really, really like because, again, the hell theme just fits really well with Raven, given his revenge plot. The colors are really, really cool, and the blue from his core, really, really nice. Again, it's a really cool, unique design with hell. Not going too over the top, but very, very nice. Again, love the thematics of it. Really, 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 really. Again, I really like this design, so I'd put this one in the A tier. No, not S, A. Really, really nice though. Okay, now we've got Merrick's one. Merrick's one's interesting. Again, it's really, really I know it's meant to be like Goto, which again, in that regard, it's a nice reference. but it looks awkward on him. It's like again, it's like a kid that's wearing something that's way too big for him. The colors are nice, granted, even though they're, you know, there's not much difference of them. I don't know. I like the idea behind this, but the execution, I don't know. It looks a bit awkward. Again, if you put this on a bigger character like a Goto, it would have looked cool, but I appreciate what they did with Merrick, but nah. It looks odd. Alright, now we have Taltui's one. Again, this is kind of like the Micaiah thing. They're going for kind of like a sexy vibe for her, which again, it does kind of work. You got the leg game, you got the cheeky, you got a cheeky little face. Again, the blacks work well. They work is a nice contrast against her just all white, pretty much all white base form. It's pretty cool. The outfit itself is pretty standard, you know, just a little bit more revealing than before. It's alright. I don't think it's amazing, but it's alright. And not D tier. No, I'll put this in C tier. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice. Okay, now I've got Niles. Niles' one is pretty cool. You know, I love the fiery flames just slowly getting more and more like colder. Well, you know, more blacker and colder. I love like the Embla stuff. Sorry, not Embla. The Muspel stuff works really well as like another version of Nor and so on. Could have maybe gone with a bit more gold because again, it's still mostly like from the head, like from the waist down, it feels very different. From the waist up, he feels very similar. But it is definitely a cool outfit. Yeah, I really love the fire effects they did. That one is really nice. So I put this in B tier. Okay, so now we've got Shana's one. Shana's. Oh, it's kind of like the arm situation. It looks like they just slapped it on her. Granted, the colors are really nice. I love the again, I love the hair and the blues, and then again, there's some beautiful golds right there. And again, you know, the feathers, they're nice. They could have done so much more though. That's the thing. This one, it's a nice idea, but they could have done so much more. But this feels really. Okay, I'll put this in D, not E. I'll put this in D tier. It's a shame because there's some nice elements there, but ugh. Alright, now we have Soniki's one. Soniki's is quite nice. Again, composition-wise, it's pretty much the same, but the blacks do work well to show, like, you know, a more imposing Empress-type vibe that she's given off, which I like. Again, I like that. The only problem is, again, it doesn't look that original, and it's not that different. The black is nice, but that's the only major difference. It's black. She's still got the red, she's still got the purple, she's still got the golds, and even then the golds are pretty faint. So, I'd have to put this in C tier. Again, the blacks alone do really help this thing, and the detail's wonderful, but it feels like, again, I think it would have done better if they gave her a bit more unique outfit. Alright, now I've got Sophia's one. This one I actually really do like, because it does feel like an extension. Similar outfit, but the whites and blacks like as a nice contrast, and the feathers around her, they're really nice too. Again, the purple's there. The colours come together very well. It's not amazing, but it is a nice glow up for her. It feels like, again, if she had a promotion or a time skip outfit, it does feel like a very natural extension, and I like that. So I'd put this in B. Now I've got Tiki's one. Tiki's? Definitely cute. Love the furry scarf. And I like, you know, she's got like a little dress outfit. It's very cute, and the scarf is wonderful. I will admit the green clashes a lot against the purples and blacks, so it does feel a bit jarring, but it's cute. It's a cute outfit, but that's all I can really say. It's very cute though, bless her soul. I know for some it can be sort of you know, when Tiki's possessed, but if they wanted to do that, I would have gone with the hell option, and we already have a possessed Tiki, so yeah. And now the most recent one, we got Florina's. Okay. Thematically, I have many questions. Why the hell would she add a hell form? Granted, the heart here is nice, and I reckon it could be a thing where she's so afraid of men, so she's kind of consumed with that. But you can see the blue in her heart that's growing, so like she still has love there and confidence, and she wants to grow outwards. But it does look nice. You know, Florina just looks beautiful. You know, I know there's so many people who just adore Florina, especially if you cosplay. Good. You want to talk about popular Fire Emblem cosplays? It seems like everyone's fucking done Florina who cosplays Fire Emblem. But yeah, it's nice. I don't think it's amazing, because again, thematically it's still a bit strange, but the purple works well against the blacks and so on. It's a very simple outfit, but a good one. I'll put this in B. It's a simple but good outfit. Now we've got Reinhardt. Okay, Reinhardt's one, this is like a little bit better. Again, like the outfit's similar to his normal one, but the colors work really well. It's a nice invert. Granted, Alwyn does it better. But this one's, again, look at that shiny gold. You know, that's how you do gold, ladies and gentlemen. So this one's quite nice. Similar composition, but I really love the color scheme. Because, again, they really bring out the gold and white. It does look really gallant and valorous. So, yeah, I'll put him in B. Next. Oh yeah, we've got Eldigan. This one I adore. You know, I love the sunken in eyes. I love the detail. Again, it's artist. Oh god, Suzuki Rika's just god tier artist. I love like the fire in his core, the inverted colors, the way the cape looks like Spawn, even like the hair. Oh god, it is so good. It is beautiful. It's beautifully symbolic. It's a wonderful variation. It's daunting. It works well with the theme. It's an S tier. It's not as good as Thingamajig's, but it's an S tier piece of Resplendent. I fucking love it so much. Now we have Allwinds. Allwinds I really like. I love the inverted colors. I love the boldness to it. I love how it does feel a bit more unique. Similar, but still unique. You know, there's a nice balance of the dark and the lights. I love the like inspiration. It looks very superhero-like and gallant. I really love this one. I put this in S tier. This is a really damn good Resplendent. And now we've got Nino's. Nino's? I like what they're going with, trying to be like, you know, a mix of her normal blue colors and a purple cape. It's nice. Yeah, it's like the Tiki one. It's cute, but the whole thing doesn't work for me. It's a bit too simple if you ask me. I reckon they could have done a bit more to make Nino look that thing. Maybe a bit more emphasis on the golds. Maybe a bit more features. Again, it feels very samey. Like, again, it's like normal outfit plus hood and feathers. But, yeah, I put this in C tier. Not awful, but, yeah. Now there's Noe's one. Okay, Noe's? Okay, this one feels like a color swap. It looks like her normal outfit, but color swap. Granted, these colors are really cool. I love the golds. I love the fire effect. I love the blacks. This is a cool outfit for Noe. Again, I don't know if they're trying to bring up sex appeal or just make it look cool and cheeky, because it works in terms of being cheeky, but Noe does look really cool. It's not original. It does feel like a color swap Resplendent, but I'll put it in C tier purely on the grounds of the colors are so cool. Yeah, Noe looks like a cheeky badass. Okay, now we've got Lucina's one. This one, I'm sure the comment section is fucking losing their shit, because this is either you love it or hate it. I appreciate, because this is the Etrian Odyssey artist. I massively appreciate the colors. I love the blues. I love the pinks. I love how it glows, how it looks like it's very bioluminescent, which works so well for the realm. I love the idea that it's Lucina going back to her childhood. I love the butterfly references. I love the idea behind this design. But again, the problem is, like, I've got nothing wrong with Lucina being a child, but I think the design alone was enough to reflect like her longing to be a child. I didn't think she needed to be actually made one. But, you know, I know the artist's art style, that's what Ilobi does, but I think for people, I think the design was enough. So I put this in B because, like, again, I get why people don't like it, but there is a lot to admire from the groundwork, from the artwork and the themes alone. There's a lot to admire here, but I think it's a case of lost in translation. Right. Okay, next one. Oh boy. There's only two left. This one, oh god, Julia looks off. Like, again, I like the art style, very sketchy, but again, her special trigger looks cool. But she looks off, the colors just, again, it looks washed out, it looks like a mess. The outfit isn't that different. It barely even reflects Nifil. She looks like she's fucking crazy and she's gonna kill someone. And again, I get it's gonna be a reference to her possession, but I don't like it. I don't like it. It's meant to be more, I get it's meant to be a bit more chaotic, and for Julia that can work, but for me, no. Anyway, last one, we've got Resplendent Ishtar. This one is beautiful. Again, outfit isn't very different. Still got the giant ass shoulder pads, which are really impractical. But the leg game is still there. The artist does a wonderful job. The colors, you know, the whites and reds look really nice because it shows like another version of Ishtar. Because Ishtar is one of the few in Gen 2. It's like she's a villain, but you still feel sorry for her, and you can feel that she has a good heart at the end of the day. This one is really cool, very sexy. Again, it could have been like maybe they could have gone with a bit more different design composition, but I really do like it. I'll put this in S, not S+, but I'll put this in S. So yeah, most Resplendents are good. Primarily B tier. You know, we've only got two awful ones, some basic ones, but there's some pretty cool stuff too. I look forward to seeing where Resplendents go from here, because again, the more Resplendents we have, especially with the Ascendant forms now, but Resplendents make for really interesting costumes. I really look forward to seeing what they do with our characters. Please give me a Sumi Resplendent, like, please! Actually, you know what? I think we're due for 3 houses of Resplendents. I would love to see them give, like, Hell Dimitri, for something like, your host, Jotunheimer Claude, and Muspel Edelgard. That would be really awesome. But yeah, so that's that. Okay, so the other tier list we're doing is the only other one, because the other one was like, the third one I had in mind would just take god fucking forever. So this is Fire Emblem Heroes OC tier list, so the original characters made for this game. So when it comes to judging this one, I don't care about their skills or anything like that. I'm just judging them how they are in terms of being well-judged characters and so on. This is going to be not that easy to do. For one thing, there's an NA tier because I'm not going to lie, there are certain characters where I either just completely skipped over what was going on in the story, not many, or I just have nothing to say because, like, Fire Emblem Heroes, I'm surprised the story's done as much as it has done. And for what it's worth, the stuff that Fire Emblem Heroes does well, it's done pretty damn well. There are some really good storylines, there are some really good OCs in here. But for the most part, the writing, it's not necessarily bad, it's more so it just doesn't know what the hell it's doing. It's so unfocused. Like, you thought Face was unfocused, Heroes is really bad in that department, because there's so many times, like, there's a plot thread, let's just drop it, and then later, oh wait, let's remember this. It's like, yeah, but that's like 3 books ago. Ugh. Anyway, so I'll just go into which characters I like the most and just rank them accordingly. Like, these characters, I don't know if I put them in the same tier as some of the other Fire Emblem characters, but it's a different standard, so this is just within the realms of Heroes itself. Anyway, so starting off with Alphonse. Now here's the thing, if you had, like, originally, if this was just like book 1 and 2, I put Alphonse in D, but thanks to book 3, I put him in B tier because while Alphonse isn't like super interesting, his relationship with his dad and stuff is really cool. The stuff he goes through in book 3 is interesting, and I really like how they do play off that Alphonse is a really competent commander in terms of being a tactical advisor and a fighter. I really like that edge they're going for him, where he's not the most interesting or the most vibrant character, but he's shown to have proper military, experience, and I appreciate that. I really do. So I think that's cool from Alphonse. I really like that angle they're going with him. It's like, look, we're not going to make it that deep, but we're going to show that he is very competent, and I like that they're all like, and from book 3 onwards, he has shown to be a proper leader, and I really like that. Alright, next. Let's get Shurina. Shurina I put in C. Alright, Shurina's cute. She's lovely, she's supportive, she's very warm, but she hasn't had any major development if you ask me. She's more of a, like, I know she acts as a massive catalyst for Alphonse development, or with the stuff that happens in book 3, but Shurina herself hasn't had that real time to, develop, if you will. Granted, again, I like her personality. I think she works well as a supportive figure, and she's got a lovely personality, and she's sweet and lovely, but there's only so much sweet and lovely can do when nothing else wants to do anything else. Right, Anna. Anna's just Anna. Again, she's like, she's a bit more focused commander type. Granted, in some of her, like, the paralogue, she has those funny moments, like, with the bikinis, where she's like, alright, I can't sell the bikinis, despite the fact she'll be away somewhere, and she literally just faints from exhaustion. Just the idea of not making money just, like, poisons Anna. I put her in the same. She's fine. I like that she is talkative, and she has that more of a tactical edge, and they do make jokes about this, that, and the other, but Anna's just fine. Excuse me. Okay. I'm gonna do another Veronica. Veronica I really like. I put Veronica in A, because Veronica, she made for a good villain at first, but she also makes for a good ally, and all the stuff going on in book 6 is cool. She's got an interesting story that's equal parts tragic, but she still works as both a tragic figure you want to protect, but a villain you want to be scared of. They do quite a bit with Veronica, which I do really enjoy, and I like that they're bringing that back. Veronica is really cool. Bruno, because I barely remember much of Bruno. I know that there was a big thing about him, and I know he's coming back, or Xanarchist if you want to be technical. But the thing is, for me, Bruno is so forgettable. Again, like, some characters, while their books are over, they haven't done much else, I completely forgot anything Bruno did. I was like, who the fuck are you? Because, like, other characters, I give you an example, like, like, the likes of Gunfra, or say, Hellbendy and stuff like that, on Levitain. Yeah, they haven't done much afterwards, but I remember them. They stuck out. Bruno really didn't. I'm just going to call him Bruno. But he's not awful. Again, there's an interesting thing going on, and in the end, depending on what book 6 does, it could be more interesting. But yeah, so we'll put him in there for now. Alright, so now let's move on. I think we've done... Oh, actually, let's do the parents, Henrietta and Gustav. Gustav, again, I like the angle they went with Gustav, where he's like, he's harsh on Alphonse, but he's trying to train him up to be the best commander. And he has this, like, again, he's really dismissive of Shurina, which kind of makes him a prick, but he does give his life for Alphonse at the end of the day. And also, you get the daunting thing, and you get, like, how his thing rubs off on Alphonse and does help shape him into being a better man. So I put him in C. Again, he is a bit of a prick, but the stuff he does is integral to Alphonse's development. And as for Henrietta, I'd put her in C as well, because, I don't know, Henrietta is interesting to me. She's got, like, the MILF-loving mother vibes going for her, but at the same time, like, some of the stuff that goes on, to me, she feels highly dismissive. Like, she knows there's shit going down, or she knows that there's something wrong, but she just ignores it. And again, at first, I thought that was out of fear. Like, when you first saw Gustav, I thought she did it because she feared him. But these days, I don't know, maybe that's just a trait of hers, but she does have, like, you know, she's got MILF vibes, she's a loving mother. But I want to see where they're going with Henrietta, because she was also threatened as well. I want to see, again, I'd love to see where they're going with her, because it'd be really interesting if they did a really interesting twist, but you never know. Alright, so now we've got our first S tier. In my opinion, best OC in the game, Fjorm. Fjorm is fantastic. They got so much right for Fjorm. Outside of the fact that she looks beautiful with a unique design, I love the short hair, but she's also, like, I love her character arc of her, you know, having to fight Suta. She loses so much, but she has that resolve. She's sweet, but she's not, she's like in between Lucina and like Erica and Shida, where she's got that naive beauty and thing, but she's not, but she's still battle driven and serious, but not to the point with Lucina where she's mostly just serious all the time. She has a nice balance. She's a beautiful woman. She has a really good development in book 2, and even the Tempest Trial stuff, like, she never ever gives in to what happens, but through that she's able to become stronger. I like that she was the first person to get an ascended form, and I like that, you know, Intelligent Systems remember that she was a thing again because of all the stuff she's got. And I think Fjorm is like Heroes done best, because you've got a character who's, you know, comes from a unique realm. Book 2 was, in my opinion, the best that Fire Emblem Heroes has been in terms of everything. Best power creep, where it was new units, but they weren't so overpowered. Like, it was Black Knight, Reinhardt, and Fjorm. That was the main ones for me. They were dangerous, but you could work around them. Whereas these days, it's like, hey, Full Nether God, and you're all fucked. But yeah, it was the best power creep, best new story. I love the realm, best new characters. And Fjorm is, like, you know, she just symbolizes all of that. I love Fjorm. And on that note, I put Leviatane in S as well. Leviatane I really like because, you know, she's kind of like a similar type of thing to Fjorm in similar in the sense that she's a serious leader, but she's not so serious that she's a stick in the mud, and she does care, but obviously because of the position she has to be more serious. You know, she's really, really competent, she cares for her sister, she's like, she does what she does, but she has her pride, even though, like, she's obviously scared of Suta, she has her pride, and in the Tempest Trials, she tries to resist. You know, she wants to be friends with Fjorm, she wants to make it work, she still has her duty and so on, but she's like, Ian, she's a proper military leader, she's a proper leader figure, she's a proper woman, and all that stuff, and, like, she placed her trust in Fjorm, so, you know, she's cold, but she still has that, you know, she still has that lovingness in her heart, and she's just, oh, she's such a woman. I love Leviatane. She's really cool. And going off that, Gunthra is pretty typical. She's there to be the doting older sister. She gets killed off and acts as really good character development for Fjorm. I'll put her in C because she does what she's meant to do. She's very loving and doting. She's very stereotypical, but she works in that regard. She works for what she's meant to be. Stereotypical, but effective. So, yeah. Yulga, I don't remember. I put Yulga in B because Yulga is like, she's super cute, and I love I put Hellbendy in B as well. I love the relationship between these two, how they help each other. You know, she or he, I can't remember which one it is because it's that design where it's like, I don't know. I know the comments probably going to go nuts, like it's either this or this, but either way, Yulga really helps to soften Hellbendy. After all he's been through, there's a nice relationship between the two, and, you know, Yulga's adorable. And Hellbendy too, yeah, he's gruff, but you can tell he's like, you know, he's got a heart of gold underneath. And I like that, and I like that it was like, you know, the two of them work as a good extreme for the ones, because you see out the innocence of Niflheim and the danger of Muspel, but they work together to help bridge that gap. I really like that. Fjorm's brother, though, that one, I barely remember him, so I put him in D. I think he's cool, pardon the pun. I do think he's cool, and he's pretty badass, but I barely remember anything he did. So, I'm sorry. Alright, I'm pretty sure I went back, my opinion might change, but again, of all the things in Book 2, as much as I love Book 2, he was the part of it I don't remember. And, going on, Leviatane, I put an A tier, because Leviatane, I quite like what they're doing, where, again, she's kind of like forced to do all this stuff against her will, but she's got her relationship with her sister, but she's also in fear of her dad. She's got a lot of ults as well. I quite like Leviatane. Yeah, she's got a bit of an attitude problem, but you can see where it comes from. And I like that she's kind of struggling between two sides. Like, do I stick with my sister who's cared for me all this time and loves me, but I don't want to piss off my dad? And that type thing. So, yeah, I like that. I like what they got going for her. Okay, so then there's Suta. Alright, Suta. Suta's a very generic Fire Emblem. He's just a generic villain in general. But here's the thing. I'm going to put Suta in the C tier purely on the grounds of, while he's the most basic, like, his personality trait is nothing new. He's about as, you know, gruff villain as you can get. He's so one note in that regard. And his design is stupidly over the top. I put him in C tier on the grounds of he has been probably, him and Hell, easily the most dangerous and effective Fire Emblem villains. He actually killed Gunfra. And the thing with Suta is, I was legit, when I was playing the game, I'm just like, you feel the power behind him. You felt that dread. And, you know, if a villain could do that, great. Because one of the things that sucked about Garen is, like, it'd be one thing for a Garen to be an over-the-top maniacal tyrant. But make him at least threatening and you feel the dread. Never felt that with Garen. I felt that with Suta. I felt friend. I felt scared going up against him. He felt like a daunting force. He felt terrifying. So I'll give him points for that. Because, you know, if he set out to do that and he accomplishes it, good for him. Oh, okay. Low-key. I noticed Thor's not on this, but I have nothing to say about Thor. She's so come and go. I have nothing to say, so just put Thor in NA. And again, there's any other characters that aren't on here that are Heroes OCs that I missed. I probably don't remember anything about them, unless I bring them up specifically. Low-key. The thing with Low-key is, I don't know what to think, because Heroes doesn't know what to do. Loki at first was kind of like the trickster thing. She's there for the fan service, she's done a bit of trickster stuff, but in book 2 she didn't do much. Then you had the bit with Azora where you really saw her manipulations go into flow. She really became this really cool villain and stuff like that, manipulating Azora, using her illusion magic. And then every now and then she just goes back and forth, like freeing Fafnir. It's like, okay, is this going to lead to anything? And now with book 6, is this going to do anything? Again, hopefully by the time this is uploaded later on, people watch this come back, it's like, wow, Loki actually can end up being an amazing Fire Emblem character. But it does, again, Heroes doesn't know if they want to make her a genius manipulator and really interesting character, or just tits. Because we've all seen her artwork. It's just like, make up your mind. For that, okay, I put her in C tier for now, because if she didn't have, like, the recent Fafnir thing in the power log, I'd put her in E tier, because she's nothing but tits. But she has those moments. I think they're building, either they're really building something with Loki, or they're just the occasional writers that remember that Loki can actually do stuff that's interesting. I hope that something does good come of Loki, because there's stuff there to admire. I don't want her to be relegated to just tits. You know, there's Fire Emblem Heroes, we've got plenty of those. Alright, so now book 3. Leaf. Same as Alphonse, I put B tier, because Leaf is a really cool, like, alternate reality Alphonse, where losing Sharina sent him down this pathway. Which, again, I like that juxtaposition, because it's cool, because, again, losing someone that close to you, especially because Sharina acts as moral support, when that moral support is gone, and you lose a loved one, you would flip your shit and become an edgelord. And I like that. It shows another version of Alphonse, but it also gives Alphonse incentive to outsmart Hell and not go down that pathway. Granted, at the ending of book 4, there's something to happen with Leaf, but God knows what's going to go on with that. But I think Leaf is a really, really cool alternate version. A little over the top, but cool. After that, there's Air. Air I put in S tier, because, again, I just love the tragic angle they're going with her. Like, all that she's going through, like, her connecting with the others despite everything that's happened, her relationship with Hell. Really, again, I really love her as an OC, I love her design. She's really tragic, but really lovely, and you just really feel, like, you feel bad when bad stuff happens, but you feel good when she gets those few breaks, and I like that. After that, okay, then there's Phrases, like the Veronica version. I'm going to put it in NA, because I have nothing really to say. I don't remember much of it. Sorry to say, I don't remember much of what happened. I think the idea is cool that, Veronica and Alphonse went down this path, because again, Veronica, because of how complex she is and all that she's going through, I could see her doing this. So on that regard, I think it's cool that she was one of the ones that got picked, but because I couldn't see Sharina doing this. She has too much of a light-hearted nature to her, but Veronica, I think that's cool. So again, the idea is cool, I just have nothing to say of the character. Hell, I'll put in C tier as well, because similar to, Gustav, even though she's outsmarted, the dread you feel, she did take out Gustav, the design, the idea behind it, really, really interesting stuff, and in one timeline she did Hell did succeed. So I'll give her that. Again, like, they're not complex, Suta and Hell, but they're effective, and for a villain to be effective, props, actual props. Also, while I'm here, Nilf, the actual goddess, Again, I don't find Nilf interesting, because all they do is they parade around like, I'm locked in this endless battle, you know, Fjorm, you must do this for me, so we must defeat Muspel. Also, I noticed Muspel's not there, I put them in the same, I put them in the E-tier because I really don't care for them. I don't think they're the worst things ever, but I really don't care for them. They're pretty much, we're gods, we battle, that's it. Again, like, it'd be one thing if Muspel was like this really harsh dickhead, and like that's why you see why Thingy is the way he is. But for Nilf to be practically the same, not as harsh, but more so just cold and like uninterested, it would be interesting to see if Nilf was a bit warmer, or maybe done something a bit different where she was a bit more celestial and like wise, and just like had like this like, you know, like a great fairy type thing where she didn't want to fight, but she did help instruct Fjorm in the ways of doing so, but in more of a nurturing and, you know, like deity like way, rather than just being like whatever. So yeah, so again, if you know, picture Muspel being there too. Alright, so now that's book... Any more book 3? No, now it's book 4, but I just need a drink real quick. So all this talking, you know, it gets to you. Remember to take your sips, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. Okay, book 4. Alright, straight up, I'm going to say, book 4 is the one I remember the least. I barely remember everything of book 4, because not only I think it's the worst story they've written so far, I was just like, like, the fuck? What is this? At the very least, Peony I'd put in C, same again, you can see why. Because Peony's cute, there is a certain loving, like, sweetness to her. I know there's that theory that she's an alternate version, or like, I don't know if it's confirmed, alternate version Shurina. I'm sure she is, but again, if she's not, whatever. But yeah, I like that. I think there is, so there's a lot of charm to her. Again, she's a very charming and loving character, like Shurina. So I'll give her that, but again, I don't remember book 4, so I can't comment too much. I'll tell you what the ones I can. Freya, I put in D, because like she's more complex than the other villains. Not by much, but she is more complex, where she was kind of shunned as an outcast. But again, I didn't think much of her as a villain. I like the sympathetic angle they go with her, and some of the scenes tonight, like how she helped Maribelus and like the Maria and stuff like that. Again, sorry I mispronounced the names. So I like that, but not much stuck out about her. Her design, I think, well, again, her summer design, woo! But her normal design was a bit much. But again, I admire bits about her. I think if she was fully fleshed out, she could have been really, really great. But for now, you know, D tier is not great, but at least I remember you. I can't say anything about, like, again, I'm sorry, I cannot say anything about the rest of this lot. I don't remember anything about them. They're so forgettable to me. I'm sorry, like, you know, part of it is the fact that I didn't care for book 3 and obviously, or book 4, and obviously that's going to play something in it. But I really, again, if you guys have opinions, by all means, you know, express what you feel. If you love them or hate them, just don't go nuts. But again, I don't remember. Again, some of them have nice designs. I love the King's design. You know, she's got a really cool New Year's ult. But the rest of them, the most I know is that cutscene where I know that Freya acted as like a mother figure to them and welcomed them. But that's it. I have nothing else to say. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, now we have most recent. Alright, this isn't going book 6, so most recent book 5. Oh boy, book 5. Book 5 started strong and ended on a whimper, but at the very least, we've got some good, interesting characters. So we've got an OC here. We have Regan. Regan I quite like. She's more down to earth than the other OCs, and she's got that tragic angle with her brothers, while also discovering, like, a journey of self-discovery. I will admit, there are many times where she, like, again, she's constantly trying to do the whole, no, brother, please, it's like, no, I can't kill him, this type of thing. But, you know, I can get the tragedy behind it. I wish she was a bit more stern. But for what she is, I think she's a strong character. I think she's a good OC and a good lead. You know, she's fun and she's nice and she's got, like, depth to her. Not my favorite, but yeah. Okay, so Otter and Fafnir. Okay, I'm gonna go with Fafnir. Fafnir is the biggest, overhyped but disappointing character ever. And when I say overhyped, I'm talking about Heroes itself trying to overhype him. Because Fafnir has a really interesting story, you know, the false king type thing. Being a hero from another world that he was pulled from. You know, and then we learn that, you know, he's a false heir to the throne, the corruption he meant to go down, the fact that in another world he had a wife and child, all that stuff, and he's meant to be this, like, really daunting, terrible figure. Fafnir is one of the most ineffective villains I've ever seen. He does fuck all. And not only that, first of all, his design is lame as shit. I love his mech, but his design is lame as shit. Character-wise, doesn't do anything. He shows up, growls a bit, says a few words, then fucks off. He's incompetent because when he actually did, because again, the whole thing in Book 5, they're really, Part 1, they're really building up Fafnir is going to be really dangerous, you know, really, really thing. And then when he goes to attack Asuka and he captures Henrietta, that we were just like, again, that was, if they followed through with that, that would have been like, holy shit, he is dangerous. You know, he made it past our main fences and he's going to potentially kill another character. Alphonse, like in the first bit, Alphonse shows up, bonks him on the head, throws him in jail. I was like, wow, you are pathetic. And here's the thing, it's not like he planned this, because Loki sets him free, and he didn't plan this. I'm like, fucking hell, they had to literally pull Loki out to save you. When Loki has to save you, you gotta bless yourself. And then after that, he just screams, you know, and stuff like that. At the end, it gets interesting. Again, there's a lot of elements. Individually, Fafnir's elements are cool, but collectively, they don't work. And he's a really unimpressive villain, so I'll put him in detail. I don't think he's again, he's not the absolute worst. They clearly put effort into Fafnir. The problem is it's not cohesive. You know, he lacks cohesion. At the same time, though, Ota, I'd put in B. Ota's good. Because Ota, you get the tragic angle, you get his, you learn his back, because again, Fafnir's backstory we learn through him, but we don't ever, like, show any you don't even show any things of Fafnir having this conflict or anything like that. Ota, you see, again, everything Fafnir was missing, Ota had. Because you see the tragedy of him, you see the conflict, you learn the stuff about him, he's the one doing all the planning and doing the missions, Fafnir just occasionally turns up. You know, Ota's the one I really like that's interesting. He has a tragic end, and he's the character he's the villain I could get behind. I liked Ota. Ota was cool. And then finally we have Thingamajig. I can't remember her name. Etri, I think it is. Again, by the end, you've got the interesting thing about her serving the kingdom for years, but it comes out and again, it's very out of left field, and she's just kind of on and off. She's all right, but she's so on and off. She just comes and goes, and there's not much I really like about her. Now, as for the sisters, Not and Dagger, I put them both in A tier. Because, admittedly, Dagger's definitely the better of the two because she's more developed, but I love their designs. I think they're a really original concept. I also love the whole Dagger's just kind of don't give a fuck and she just kind of rolls with it, but she's loads of fun. And Not, despite looking like an actual goddess and is super beautiful, is the worst kind of simp. She will simp for anyone that looks halfway decent. Knowing her, she'd probably simp for Lorenz, and that, like, you lose respect points. Again, unless it's time skip Lorenz, you lose respect points for that. Ugh. But, I like the dynamic between the two. Granted, Not's death was like, what? I'm sorry. Like, killing off characters in Fire Emblem Heroes, it doesn't have the biggest impact, but at least with, like, Gustav and Gunfra, there was more build-up behind it, there was more of an impact. It was really, really, it was really big for the character's story arcs. No, because again, Dagger's not the main character. She's more of a side character. They're fun side characters. They're great in that regard, and I love, everything about them. But Not's death was so ham-fisted. It's like, oh, she's dead. It's like, if Dagger was the main character, and it was about her being, like, the ideal ruler of Josephheimer, because even though not Josephheimer, what'd you call it? Whatever it is, what's the realm called? I'm pretty sure it's in whatever, the realm they're at. Sorry, mind fart. Like, if it was, again, if Book 5 was focused on Dagger, and, Not was the ruler, but you could tell that because she was manipulated by the enemy, because of her simping tendencies, because she was blindsided by that, she realized she was not not the ideal leader, whereas Dagger was, and she gave up her life knowing Dagger was better suited. That would have been a wonderful development, but then Dagger had to learn from what Not did and why she was leader in the first place, like, be a bit more calm, be a bit more open, but take what Dagger's failings, learn from that, and to Not's failings. I keep getting mixed up. Take Not's failings, learn from that, institute her own, way of thinking and make it work. That would have been fantastic. But that death, just again, of all the deaths in Fire Emblem Heroes, that's the lamest. But anyway. But yeah, so that's the tier list for the OCs and Heroes so far. Again, if there's any I've missed, if there's any I've missed, please let me know. Again, I know there's misspell, but whatever. Again, no F tiers at the very least, so Fire Emblem Heroes isn't that bad yet. And with Book 6 coming up, Veronica's sister looks pretty damn cool. Let's see where that goes. But yeah, so as far as Fire Emblem Hero goes, it's mostly just CDB tier. Like, they're mostly average characters. Some are better than others. Again, you've got some really good ones, you've got some strong ones, you've got some better than what you think, you've got some average ones, you've got some disappointing ones, you've got some whatever, and then there's ones I just don't care about. But it could be worse. Fire Emblem Heroes has done better than what I initially thought. But for the love of God, again, in terms of if you're watching this, find a storyline, fucking stick to it. Because my problem is they keep going back and forth with all this stuff, because we still have to expand upon what's going on at the end of Book 4. We've still got to know what the hell's going on with Loki and so on. In my opinion, like, either have this all come together soon, or just find a way to wrap this up. Because I know they want to keep this going, because they want to keep the game's life going. Also, yeah, there's that other one, the cow woman. I can't say much about her. Again, we only know her. It's too early to say. But yeah. Anyway, thank you all for tuning into this tier list video. I'm glad you're enjoying this. I think next time I do a tier list, I don't want it to be Fire Emblem related. I'll try and see if I do something else. And I'll see if I can maybe get guest commentators depending on the subject matter. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. I would like to do more Heroes tier lists in the future, because there's a lot to cover. I just couldn't do all, and that's why, again, I've only done 2 today, because we've already taken up this much time. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on, hope you'll have a wonderful evening or morning, wherever you're watching this. Anyway, that's it from me. I'll see you all next time. And of course, I want to say a very special thank you to Wolffox, Shadow Dragon, Lucina21, Degenerate Peach, K-Dog, Chaos Saberlie, Vincent Clark, Midnight Castle, Maggieful, Patanka Fan 32, Jeremy Redinger, Fairlin8392, Daniel Hodgson, Twisted Scarecrow, Cameron Reynolds, and finally Zenny Dragon. Thank you all so much. I love and appreciate you guys. You're the absolute best. Thank you, thank you, thank you.